Welcome to BNILOMS Digital, where immigrant women heal, learn, heal, grow, and build a better future beyond survival mode. I am happy to be here again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How I found digital business, my journey from nurse to digital entrepreneur. How I found digital business, my journey from nurse to digital entrepreneur. That is the topic of our today's discussion. So, welcome to BNE Loans Digital Live. Tonight, I'm sharing the story of how I discovered digital business while working as a nurse in Europe. If you've ever felt stuck in survival mode, overwhelmed by work, or curious about learning digital skills and creating more options for your future, this conversation is for you. We discuss mindset, personal growth, digital business, online opportunities, and the lessons I learned along the way. Please tell us in the comment section where you are joining. Remember to subscribe, follow for more, because, like I said, this is a place where immigrant women gather together to learn, to build, to heal, and to realize that they deserve option. Nobody is allowed to get stuck and remain stuck. And I am here to help you find your way in the digital space. Are you from Nigeria, Ghana, any part of Africa? Are you a nurse, a mom, teacher, healthcare worker, any walks of life? Are you looking for a sustainable side hustle? Have you tried to do something online but failed? Or you are afraid to start because you don't know what to do? Or you are overwhelmed with all the information you are getting while trying? Then I urge you to gather around, because this is for you. I am Blessing Ilums. I am a Nigerian by birth, a Belgian by choice, and a digital owner by deliberate decision. Because I believe that choice is the blueprint of destiny. I am a mother of two wonderful children, and I migrated to Europe, Belgium to be precise, because of my profession. And I started doing my work almost immediately. If you want to hear that story, subscribe and go to through my channel, you will surely find it. And like everybody that is migrating, we always think that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. So when I landed, I found out that it was not really the way it's supposed it I assumed it would be. You know, I dey speak small English, yeah. And me be the thing say English na the king of language. Say everywhere when I go, say people go they speak the language. But when I landed, was confronted with this, that even if there are jobs that they could allow people to speak language English in this Dutchland, my profession is not included, because I need to speak the language that the common people will understand, and that is Dutch. So I started immediately learning the language, even though I was learning phrases while back at home because I know I was coming. But learning a language you don't speak is just like reading a novel you don't tell anybody about. It will just stay inside you. So that was the hustle, the struggle. And also I met with also culture shock. There are a lot of things that wasn't the way I thought it would be. I met a lot of culture shock, and I still have to, deal with it. Also took integration courses, you know. So let me ask you something. Have you ever reached a point in your life where you knew something has to change? Not because you hated your job, not because you lacked ambition, but because you wanted more options, more flexibility, more control over your future. That was me. So after all these years of, doing that, doing this, getting myself settled in this land, before you know it is already 5 years. And then being a mother for my children, being a daughter to my father, being there for everybody that needed me. Gradually, I started forgetting myself. All I knew about was how to work, how to take extra jobs, how to look for extra jobs somewhere, how to make money, how to send money home, how to pay bill, how to do, my life was just about how to do this and how to do that. And that is always out, never to myself. So that was me hustling and hustling until about 2.5 years ago. And tonight I am sharing how I found this digital business and why it completely changed the way I think about work, growth, and opportunity. For those joining us right now, welcome again to the BNILOMS Digital, a place where women gather together to learn, heal, and build digital income, learn digital skills, leverage the social media in a grand way, because we do teach here, we mentor, we coach, we hold you by your hand step by step. It doesn't matter from what walk of life you're coming from, how old you are, it doesn't really matter. All matters is that you are coachable, you are mentorable, you are dedicated to what you want, you are intentional, you know that you deserve options, and you are here to get that option. So, if you've watched my previous lives, you know I often talk about the realities of immigrant life, burnout, financial pressure, and the challenges many women face abroad. I urge you to subscribe and look into my channel so that you can be able to watch those past one. So this night, let's talk about discovery. Because sometimes one decision, one webinar, one conversation, one new skill can completely change the direction of your life. My story in a nutshell. For years, I focused on my nursing career. Doing other, I did, when I say I did other side hustles, I took a job in the Horeca. So I was doing morning and night in my nursing profession, and then I took extra job in the Horeca because most times it is around 6 o'clock, and because I was doing dishwashing, I start maybe around 7 when the first set of people that come early for their dinner. And that is it. Before I close, it's already 12 o'clock. I know you will be wondering, how are you taking care of your children then? Then welcome to my shoe then. I work so hard. I work so hard as a nurse. I work so hard as a mother. I work so hard as a daughter, and I work so hard also as a sister and as a friend to a lot of people. I cared for my patients. I supported my family. And like many immigrants, I believe that working hard was the only answer, was the only option, was the only way. If you want to get Owo, you must work hard in abroad. So my fellow diaspora women, my fellow immigrants, no matter the country you are from, this is the life we lived. This is the life I lived. This is also the life people are still living. We are taught to work harder. Nobody ever told us that there is something like working smarter. But hard work alone doesn't always create flexibility. And I realized that I wanted options. I wanted room to breathe. I wanted to learn skills, digital skills that could help me grow beyond my current situation. And that was when I started exploring the digital world. Not just like that, the burnout, the emotional trauma, the loneliness, the stress that didn't have time to heal himself from one straight to another. Before you know it, the body broke down. I started having complaints here and there, aching here and there, pain with unknown origin, neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, tummy pain, head pain, mouth pain, teeth pain, every pain, finger pain, toes pain. I'm telling you the truth, I'm not exaggerating. And I remember once I went to my doctor. The man had been prescribing physiotherapy of kinetherapy. And in this country, because you are mandated to pay some certain insurances, the insurances are also mandated to tell you the level of their treatment that they can cover. So in this aspect of therapy, when you come to the same place to you when you come to this physiotherapy, when your doctor prescribe, for example, for the neck pain or back pain, you might have 18 times to go for this physiotherapy, and they will cover a huge amount of the pay. But after that 18 time, for example, if you go back for the same complaint, even if your doctor prescribe it, the insurance might not come up to pay. Even if they pay, they will not pay the smaller amount. You have to pay the higher amount. And before you know it, you find out that you are only working all this hard just to pay medical bill. And remember, you are also compulsory to pay medical bill every month, whether you are sick or not. You have to pay your insurance. That, in short, if you come to Belgium, that is one of the things. It is there. They have compulsory insurance package. Everybody must do. And then, according to your health situation, because I have along the line, I also discovered that my son had a medical issue, and we are running from one hospital to another. And because of that, I have to take extra insurances so that my son will be covered should anything happen. And then my eyes, I have to take extra insurances so that if anything happen, if I have to go for more medical glasses, because here medical classes are very expensive. So before you know it, you have badged yourself 3 types of or 4 types of insurances coming out from that one source of income. So you understand why many of us took a lot. Because there are 2 things that you don't want to happen to you when you are abroad. That is being homeless, or having no medical insurance, having nothing to cover you when you are sick. Because here you have no land to sell. You have no uncle to beg to allow you to have your father's land so that you can sell a part of it. So the best way is to make sure that all your insurances are being paid and you're working extra. I know electricity is very important. You don't have to put your children in the cold. Water is very necessary. I don't know. I have never seen anybody allowing anybody to carry a bucket or a jack to come to their house and fetch water and bring to your own home. Except you go and buy bottled water. Then you use the bottled water and you do those, in those days in the universities when there is no water, pure water can turn to your bathing water. How long will you do it? You can do it if you're living alone. You cannot do such thing when you have children. Because if anything should happen to the skin of your children, it will just take what is the problem? The children will start singing, and when your children start singing like that, your home condition is questionable, and before you know it, you are being categorized, how do you say it, unbewomba, that your children cannot live at home because you don't have water, you don't have electricity. Okay, so you just have to work hard to make sure that all these things are in place. And unfortunately, if you are a single parent, then the manager no go na to you. You dey feel me? So when people ask why do people abroad always do 20 different types of jobs, these are the reasons. And when they are doing those things, probably the only time they will really have freedom is when they manage to save money to come back to Africa. And that is why immediately that pocket money, in short, any reasonable person, immigrant abroad going back home, we always have to make sure that they pay their go and come back plane ticket. If possible, even the train ticket, depending on which country you are living, if you have to take extra, because you could go home and the situation that you meet back home will make you to spend on your money, and before you know it, you are zero. It happened to me when I went for the burial of my mother. I forgot that I came with one way ticket, and after the burial, I could not come back home. I remember my children were here. That is a story for another day, how I managed to come back home. Because it is on that situation that you will know that those that you think will help you in time of need will tell you stories. And especially when you have already crossed the border, which they have been praying to cross, and then you come to tell them that because of that you don't have money to go back, then you realize that human beings are what they are. I raise my case. So it is in the midst of all this hustle and turmoil and emotional turmoil, the loneliness, that I decided that I have to do something extra. I started looking for things to do. I had even wanted to go into traditional way of marketing. But my dear, you have to go to depending on what you want to do, there must always be a loan, going to the bank to get a loan, and then the bank in certain cases will tell you to pay either 20% or 10% of the loan you want to take. And then if you already have like you already taking loan for something, for example you are mortgaging, then it also reduces your chances, because if you are one salary, because indeed I don't know about other countries. In my country here, there is mandate, an amount that the bank cannot take from you. Before the bank can give you any loan, They must make sure that the amount you receive and what you do, what you give out, I mean, your expenses, they have to consider those things before now they will place you on the loan, how to pay the loan back. So if your situation is around that they cannot give you the loan because they cannot place you on what to pay back then. So when I went for such, I found out that if to start comfortably a traditional way of marketing or business here, you really have to have from 30 to 50,000, because you have to hire a house or rent a house. You have to put it, and most of us here most of us Africans in diaspora, most of the things we like doing most is either you're cooking food or you're selling food stuff. And remember, you also have to try to find out which people, and also the government have to come and investigate where you are selling those things, the conditions, and all those things cost time and it costs money. So I felt that I have already divided myself into many places. This is not the time for it because I was already getting tired. Then I said, let me look digitally. I remember at this time I had a Facebook I opened when I was back home in Nigeria, which I have not even used for years here. So I am not really into social media. But I realized that if actually I have to do something to help my life, the option is social media, digital business. So that was when I started searching. And truly speaking, when people say they don't want to come do digital business because of scam, it is true. But I will not, because of one bag egg, I decided that all the eggs in my basket are all bad. No. And another thing too, it is so overwhelming. Immediately, this is work with AI. And immediately you go to the search, your website, and you put something, you will be flooded with information about that. So by the time you are calculating all this information and the videos coming, you are going wow. But I miss all those noise. I saw this digital business. It was a couple that was talking about it. Probably then, when I saw it, I wasn't really in need of anything, so I ignored it. But when I later become in need of finding a plan B, making an intentional decision that I need to do something, I was searching. I searched and searched and searched. I saw a lot of things that were overwhelming me. But one day I was just looking one of my uh, YouTube program or Facebook that I used to enjoy from Africa then. Then I saw this beautiful African woman talking about situations that most immigrants face, just like I'm talking about mine now. Her story really resonated with me, just like my story will resonate with you. And then she talked about that if you are 40 plus and you don't want to have overwhelming and you need a structured business, why not you try this? That caught my attention because I was already overwhelmed looking for something to do. So that caught my attention. And immediately I copied their website and I put my name and email address, just like I'm telling you now. If what I'm doing here interests you, you just go to the web, go to my channel description. Just click the link, start here. Your name and email address, it will give you free information for 1 month, 30 days. So I realized that what caught my attention wasn't really the money, because the woman did not talk about money. But it was that the possibility that finally I have an option. I can make an option. And also, when I started watching the free information, I saw ordinary people learning new skills, ordinary people learning new digital skills. I saw the testimonies of people. I would even say I am better off educationally, doing well, and that the training was so good, so well structured that they could do better. Also, people talk about how their confidence have been uplifted, how they have been building confidence just joining this group, connecting with people globally, and learning marketing. Are you just, the things that attracted me? They are learning marketing, they are learning communication, how to communicate, they are learning technology, and people are giving testimony how they are growing personally and professionally. Wow, I said to myself, I realized digital business wasn't just about business, because this is just, that is what was in the mind. I came here to do business actually. But when I found this group, this woman, and registered in this her group, I realized that they are learning far more that beat my imagination if I was an outsider. The group, the model was so made that people are giving more testimony of personal development than even what they are, you know. That was when I realized that digital business wasn't just about business. It is about education. It was about personal development. It was about becoming a better version of yourself. That version of yourself, the hustle and toiling of working abroad have made you almost to forget. This community, through their step-by-step digital skill training, made people, I included, become a better version of their self. What are you still waiting for? At this juncture, I expect you to go to my channel, subscribe, go to my description, click on that start here button so that you too will get even those free information workshop. Then I joined. And what I learned, one of the biggest lessons I learned in this is you don't have to know everything to get started. Many people never begin because they think they needed perfect knowledge or perfect timing or perfect confidence. Many times I have watched the story of one of the biggest social media platform, how these two young people started from not knowing what they were doing to becoming billionaires and helping millions of people use their social media to create extra income to themselves. When your spirit told you to get moving, don't sit down and say you're waiting to know, to have the perfect knowledge. Don't go sitting down and say you are perfecting the timing or you're waiting for the perfect timing. Don't go sit down and say that you want to build confidence. Confidence is built by practicing, by trying, by failing and getting up. That is how you build confidence. Even today, when I started, I was still doing like this and I'm already go live. People may laugh, but I am learning each day. Each day I come to this YouTube channel to air myself and tell my story. I fumble, but I pick myself up. I did not learn it overnight. If it was me of days, years past, I will just be ashamed and I will walk away. But the BNILOMS, the blessing that you see now is the blessing that will say to hell with whatever that want to take my confidence, because I have been building this confidence for 2.5 years. And if I've been doing this business for 2.5 years, I am still here, it is because it is working. So, my fellow immigrant women, growth happens after you start, not before. If you are sitting down in your home, folding your hands, saying, I cannot do it, how can you know you can do it? How can you know you cannot do it if you don't start? A lot of people have thought they can do something, but when they start, they couldn't. And a lot of people have thought that they cannot do something, and when they start, they become the best. Growth happens after you start, not before. So every expert was once a beginner. Take it from the woman who saw it all. Like Julius Caesar, I came, I saw, and I am conquering. And I want you to come along. Let's conquer together. Because I will be here. I will be your mentor. I am already in my training to become a coach. So when you be daradawasi here, because I will mentor you, I will coach you. And I will hold you by your hand, step by step, like a baby learns how to crawl before walking. You give yourself the time. You might be laughed at. Of course, you might be laughed at. You will surely fumble. But why would you fall and remain falling? And now fall, you remain, you fall. Oh, now you start to the fall. People don't fall, they still get themselves up and they are where they want to be today. So, let me pose this question. Let's make this interactive. If you are watching me now, I need your answer. If you're gonna watch my replay, tell me also in the comment section, what is stopping you from learning something new? What are your reasons? Lack of time, fear of failure, lack of confidence, not knowing where to start? Comment A, B, C. You want me to say it again? What will stop you or what is holding you back from learning something new? A, lack of time. B, fear of failure. C, lack of confidence. And D, not knowing where to start. Put it in the comment section. Now, we are in our education session. My dear immigrants, my dear diasporas, my dear professionals, no matter where you come from, my beautiful Belgians, my Nigerian people, my fellow Ghanaians, my fellow Cameroonians, my fellow Kenyans, digital business can include many things. Let me educate you on that. When people talk about, I want to learn digital skills, what is digital business? What are you expected to do there? There is the most one everybody know is content creation. And I love my people. I love my Nigerians. Everybody in Nigeria is a content creator. Then you want to do further, you do digital marketing. A lot of people also do it, where they do drop shipping, they do something. But I do digital affiliate marketing because I am still a full-time nurse. And I chose a sort of digital marketing that have already done 90% for me. And I just use the 10%, which include what I'm doing with you now. And then people do social media skills, where they learn and help every other person. Personal branding. There are experts in personal branding. If you want them to help you to brand your presence in the social media, they are there to help you. We have communication. There are people that master the digital aspect, the communication aspect of digital marketing, and they teach people. There are a lot of sponsored ads going about communication. Then there's what we also call online education. What I am doing right now is a sort of online education, because I am bringing these digital skills, this awareness to your domot. Make you open the door, make I enter. Now you sabi. But when you open this door, when you allow me in, you will never regret it. Like my wife, people say, do am and thank me later. Then there is this aspect of e-commerce. And then there's what we call remote work skills, which is also what I am doing. Part of my business is also remote work. But the important thing is not rushing. No matter what you choose to do, don't rush. The important thing is learning step by step. Give yourself space. You are an adult, for crying out loud, because I am talking to adults. If you are 40 plus, 45, 50, 60, and even 65, this message is for you. I am not relegating the 30s. No, we also have people that came into this business at 23 years old, and they become already millionaires before they're 25 through this digital business. So the most important thing is not rushing. The most important thing is learning, and learning consistently. And when you learn, you put it into practice. You learn, you practice, you learn, you apply, you fall, you get up, you learn again, you apply. Ịnakwa ha apply ile, ịna ha elele, ịna ha apply ile, o ruo mgbe ị mụtara ihe ị chọrọ ịmụ, ụmụnne m. Ị na-amụta, ị na-eti ya n'ọlụ, ị na-amụta, ị na-eti ya n'ọlụ. Ọ dịghị nga anyị nọ obodo oyibo ka nke ike, anyị akachala. We are looking for a better way to recover our lives, recover our time, and enjoy that life that really made us to move. Because it is so appalling. It is so appalling that most of us came to these countries. The only travel we know for the past 20 years we are in these countries is just in that place we are. Or going to visit family home. Many of us has even been here 20 years, they have not even gone to visit anybody home. Just because and he just were shing at that place. This is so legit, so real. Learn it and utilize the social media and create extra income for yourself. To round it up, if you've been curious about digital business and online skills, stay connected with us. Subscribe, comment, share, ask your questions. I started as a complete beginner, not knowing anything in the digital world. I have to brush up a Facebook I made years past before I came here. And many women in our community started exactly the same way. You don't need to have everything figured out. You simply need to be willing to learn. If you like to see the free webinar that introduced me to this journey, check the Start Here link in my description. Click on it. Copy it to your browser, or click there and put your name and email address, and those free information will come to you live and direct. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on this BNILOMS Digital. I want you to remember this. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. Sometimes all you need is, sometimes your next step begins just with learning one new skill. Then you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep learning. Ihe a na-amụta dịrị agwụ. And you keep believing that your future can be bigger than your current circumstances. My people say hope doth living. Keep your hope alive. Don't get stuck and remain stuck. Ọdụrụ Africa n'ọbara, ọdụrụkwa Nigeria n'ọbara, ọdụrụ ndị Igbo n'ọbara. Anyị adịghị ada wụsa, anyị na-ada anyị ebilie. You deserve a softer life is my next topic on Friday. It is a mindset talk. I want you to be here. I want to see you on my Friday mindset and community conversation. Share this to your friends. I want you to come. Let's grow together. I love you all. But remember, your job is important, but your future deserves option. See you on Friday. Bye.